Hi viewers, for those that are joining this live, okay, we'll be having a controversial conversation on feminism. So now I think we would be starting from what feminism is. So here with me is baby girl. Please tell us your name.
My name is Oluchi.
And
I'm
condition, you
Chimila.
just it's not like
Yeah.
okay, then our uncle in the Lord that does not like feminists. Please, what is your name?
I said I'm Chimila.
Okay. So basically, please can you tell us what feminism is?
Okay, well, the normal definition of feminism is the removal. It's a social movement that that wants to achieve the removal of social and legal restrictions on women, so that we can achieve equality of both sexes in respect of business, school, life, and all aspects of life. Yeah.
Pamela, please, what do you see feminism as?
Well, I see feminism as very overambitious ladies coming out to actually state what is already in existence. So most of the times, feminists, right? They always talk about equal rights. Yes, and I don't know, is Oluchi a law student?
No.
Okay, thank God. So most of the times, feminism, as at the time it came out, right? Historically, they were in the United States. They were always campaigning against the segregation and all that, because women were not allowed to vote at the time. So they came out to say, we need equal rights to the men and all that. But now there is nowhere any law. There's no law that states anything that they will say that okay, men are supposed to do this, why women will not do this. There is no, if that your whole fundamental right in chapter 4, I think, chapter 2 and chapter 4, there is no one they say is especially for men and especially for women. So I don't see feminism as people that have time, like women, they have time to come out and just rant. And most of the time, instead of getting equal rights, instead of advocating for equal rights, most of the time these ladies want something superior, like they want to be superior to men, right? But the problem there, in fact, I think I should stop because I've already stated what I see feminism as. Maybe as we in furtherance of this interview, I could open your eyes to more things.
So, honestly, in all he has said, do you have any critique or anything you are against in what he has said?
Well, he was right in the beginning that he said historically feminists were advocating for their rights to vote and other things. Yes, there's nothing like a law that is saying men will do this and men can't do that. But it doesn't have to be in the law for someone to infringe your rights. Nowadays, you're not supposed to infringe on some basic human rights. Yet they're infringing your basic human right, but in the law it's not correct to do that. So there are still people that are infringing on women's basic rights, and that is what feminists are fighting for. Yes, I understand that the people, some feminists are radical. They behave like me. I don't agree with some feminists I see, but for what what the essence of feminism is what I explained before.
Oh, yeah, using glue.
I've done a lot. I've done a lot.
It's glow.
Yes.
So, child. Sorry.
All right. So you were saying something.
Yeah, I was saying that you were right at that point of feminism being like advocating for the women's right to vote and stuff. But yeah, radical feminists are making it seem like kind of pointless. But this is still important in these days because there are situations you see where some people will tell a woman what to do and what not to do. And it's not right. And it happens. Even if I can testify that it has happened. I can testify to that. So how would that contribute?
Okay, so there's something about something you just said now about ladies. I don't know. Okay, you first talked about infringement of rights. Infringement of rights is general, right? It's not just because you're a woman. You get, like, if let's say for example, I walk up to you and I slap you, right? I have, okay, let me not use slap. Let's say I lock you up, maybe because maybe you're a woman and maybe probably you're my wife, and I heard or I saw that you cheated or something like that, and I was so angry that I locked you up, maybe beat you up. It is still like the same law guiding or preventing me from doing that particular thing that I did to you is also the same law that will guide my brother or my friend, a male friend, from me beating him. Like the same consequences I will get from beating my younger brother or my male friend will still be the same consequences I will get if I beat a woman. What I'm just trying to say is that feminism is pointless, right? It is pointless. No, okay, normally I don't, okay, most of the times people usually ask me whether I believe in gender roles, right? You marry a woman, the woman must have to cook, must have to wash, must have to clean, and all that. And I say, okay, this would sound somehow, but I so much believe in the traditional way of doing things, right? I so much believe in the traditional way of doing things. How it was programmed to be was that the man provides for the woman, right? And the woman helps the man. You get? So I don't know if you guys are Christian, whether I could because me, most of the times when I argue this kind of things, I don't like bringing the Bible in. But when you look at some biblical reference where the woman was made just to be the helpmate of the man, you get, you are supposed to help your husband in anything and in everything. You get. So most of the times, these feminists, they will just they'll say it's gender roles. I don't like gender roles. The two of us will provide, the two of us will wash, the two of us will clean, the two of us will cook. No, that is not how it was programmed to be. Maybe if you're not a Christian, okay, I might say, okay, maybe your religion or your faith has another connotation or denotation to this particular thing. But as Christians, or based on me using the biblical reference, and I think it's also in the Quran, because if you look at the Muslim faith, I don't know, without prejudice to the Muslims that are watching or that would watch on YouTube or anywhere, if you look at the Muslim faith, you will see that it's as though the women are being subjected so much there, right? Like your man can get up and marry like as many wives he can marry and all that, but the woman will not say anything. The woman will not talk and do this. So I think it should be in the Quran. It's also in the Bible that the woman is the helpmate of the man. The Bible also talked about the woman being submissive to the man. So most of these things are arguments that feminists will not and cannot accept. You get? Everything is how it's supposed to be. Thank God for this digital age. Thank God for the Declaration of Human Rights in the United Nations and all that. Everybody has the same right. There is no right that is higher than the other. The male and the female. It's just that, okay, I don't know. Because Aluchi here is not, will I say, legally inclined. I would want to go into one stuff in jurisprudence. Even you, Grace, I don't think you've gotten to that extent. There is something we call the whole field analysis of rights. Now, in the whole field analysis of rights, it said that, okay, before you enjoy a particular right, there are obligations, there are responsibilities you must undergo, right? Let's say, for example, before you, let's say, enjoy the right of, let's say, immunity, let's say, before you become immune to criminal stuff, like criminal and all that, you must have to work your way to be the president or the governor of okay, they've taken my life actually. You must have to work to be the president or the governor of a particular state or the country. So most of these things, before you try, because most of the times feminists, they just want rights that they have not worked for. They want to be seen as, okay, the other time in the House of Reps, they were talking about creating a special seat for women. Like, everybody is entitled to come out for election. You come out for election, you buy the form, you do your campaign, you win your election, and nobody will tell you not to go there. Even I even saw that sometime last 3 months, the parties, IPC, PDP, some parties reduced the party form, nomination form for women and youths for about 50%. They are doing these ladies right, but the ladies, they want more. That's my problem with feminists. They are giving you everything that you say they should give you, but you still want more. You get? So that's just it. That's how I look at feminists. I just look at them as people that don't have too much time in their hand to do whatever they want to do.
Okay, so I think the problem is the ones that you are seeing are not portraying the right definition of what feminism is. Because feminism is basically looking for equality and not superiority. Do you get me? They're just looking for equality. And this was because of the things that happened then, and even now it still happens. The society stigmatized the women some type of way.
Okay.
So it's more like every lady for themselves, every lady being able to proudly wear a lipstick and a dress or the kind of dress that they want to wear without anybody saying anything or saying this is bad, you're not supposed to do this, go and take it off, you're a mother, this is what you're supposed to do, already defining and already giving you a particular role that you're supposed to play in life, and not allowing you to choose the path that you are meant to, that you want to take. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So that's what I feel feminism is actually about.
Can I
and that's
okay.
Yes.
All right. Like, I'm happy you brought up that Christianity Bible stuff of wife supposed to help the husband. They did not say, well, they meant it in the marriage aspect. Now, many women are not married to some men. We're not actually married. So you can't tell me that I'm supposed to help a man, but I don't actually, like, I'm not married yet. So why am I helping? That's not what they like. Before I get married, that's not my rule. Yes. So you're trying to say that, okay, maybe I'm supposed to, like, prepare myself, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to, like, cage myself in this aspect because I'm going to help a man in future. Because me right now, I'm not, like, getting married anytime soon. So you're telling me that because the Bible says a woman is supposed to help the man, I'm just supposed to keep myself in one particular cage until, like, I reach the point where I'm supposed to help a man. And also, yeah, the Bible says wife submit to your husband, but before that, the Bible said husbands love your wife. Should I remember?
Okay, continue.
It was husband love your wife, wife submit to your husband. I don't know whether it's Ephesians or something like that. That's how they put it. So the love will bring the submission. You can't just treat somebody anyhow and expect the submission to follow. I don't know, if you are following a leader and that person is not a good leader, you will not be feeling the need to follow that person.
Yeah.
Yes, we all have our roles, but feminism is telling us that you shouldn't just keep somebody. If they want to branch out, you shouldn't tie the person down. Just like sometimes our parents, when we were kids, they don't let us go out or explore what we want to do. They just kept inside a particular cage. That's what some people are trying to do to women. We want to explore and check out other things that we know that we can do, know we can achieve. And yet they're just putting us inside like particular cage and be like, no, this is where we're supposed to stay. And even if it's not really popular, there are some countries that still have restrictions on women, taking away their rights to walk about freely, while the men will do whatever they want, and they will keep the women in just a particular cage and be like, people stay there. For example, Afghanistan, with all the Taliban rules, and even Iran, Iraq, you will see all those places that you can't go there and say that the women are free. And they're practicing Islam, and Islam also preaches freedom of women. There's part of the submission, but I think I'm following some Muslims that their Quran says the wife has her money is her own and the husband provides for her. Many that Islam gives rights to women, but the Muslim government, or rather the government in those Muslim countries, are taking away those rights, even when the Quran said they shouldn't take away those rights. So it's not about what is in the Bible, it's what people outside, or rather people that are supposed to be holding the things in the Bible are doing outside of it. So yeah.
Yes, very, very, very interesting. Yes, I totally, no, not totally actually. I partially agree with you. And when you were talking about the Afghanistan, that's the Taliban's now. Yes, those people they are actually trampling upon the rights of women there, and I think that is where the feminists are supposed to go. The people are supposed to go there and fight for your fellow women in Afghanistan. If you come to, let's say,
go there now.
For United in the United States, and let's say by extension in Nigeria and some other of these countries that do not like trample on the rights of women, this is where the voices are too loud, saying we need right, we need equal rights. What other equal? Okay, tell me something that the men are allowed to do that the women don't do. Now I'm just talking about this equality of rights. Is there anything? There is nothing. Nothing in particular.
I think in case of the salary issues, like I'm doing the same work this man is doing. I might still be doing better than him, but then they're saying because I'm a woman or something, they're saying that I should take a lesser pay, and I'm doing that same work better or even like at the same level with him. But I think that because of maybe I'm not a man, and they won't say this thing like because you're a woman, they won't say it. They'll just you can feel because you're a woman. In many jobs, I think I have some friends that are working or being in like all these male-dominated fields, rather like engineering, architecture, anything that male-dominated, they rather be they'll look down on you because a woman, even though you are doing that thing very well, they will still want to like treat you. Some people might have the experience differently, but most of the experiences I've heard of are those that they treat women differently because they're in a male-dominated field.
Even some even have to sit there before they give you a certain position. When you know you can.
Okay, so the reason as to why I'm talking like this is, like I said, because you are really not legally employed. Now, if you are, let's say in an organization, and you feel that your rights is being trampled upon based on pay and working conditions and all that, you have every right under industrial and labor law to bring action against your employer. You might not bring it against him in his personal capacity, but there is how you can go about this thing. Gracee is a lawyer; she can explain it to you. Maybe when you are tired of
lawyers around me. Don't worry.
Yeah. Thank you. So now about the salary generally, people are being paid based on what they actually bring to the company. Now, I'm not talking about their own skill set and experience. I'm talking about the profit in monetary gain. So the other time they were talking about in the United States, we were talking about, this basketball game. The NBA, that's the National Basketball Association, and the WNBA, that's the Women's National Basketball Association. The women started complaining that the men earn like 10 times more than what they earn. They were going on the streets protesting and all that. But they now looked at it and they said that the NBA brings in many times more money than what the WNBA brings in. Like, people are interested to watch the men, but they are not interested to watch the women in the basketball competition. So because people are more interested in the men, they pay more for tickets, they pay more for TV rights and all that. So the money that they bring in, they make too much profit that they can actually pay the men whatever they want to pay the men, and they will not even be moved. Now they now talked about the WNBA being in so much loss, like in consecutive years. I think 5 years consecutive from this year to like last 5 years. How is it possible that women in their own organization, they don't bring in money, but they want to be paid more? You get the same thing applies to the UFC. That's the kickboxing fight stuff. The same thing also applies to the football, but football actually, people actually take interest in women's football actually. But apart from that, what I'm trying to say generally is that women are paid more when their efforts, like when you look at the efforts of this woman, you see that, okay, this woman actually, without her, she's indispensable to this company, and without her, the profits would not be growing. So that also brings me to a part that says that the ladies should actually improve themselves. Like, let's say somebody like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala will not come and be complaining that men are earning more than her. You get? Somebody like Ngozi Chimamanda will not come and complain that men are earning more than, even though she's a feminist. But she will not come out and complain that men are earning, because they have worked their way through the ladder. The only people that are complaining that men are earning more than them are people that don't want to improve themselves. They will be there. They will be at the bottom of the ladder, wanting the rights and the privileges of somebody that is above them. You get? So
Yeah.
as a lady, you are expected to work hard, increase in value, because no matter your gender, as long as you are bringing value to the society, you'll be paid much for it. You'll be paid for it. As long as you're solving a problem, you'll be paid for it. You understand? So that is that.
Well, and what I believe is, I don't think you're a sexist person, but there are people in this world that are sexist. And even though you are bringing in much as a woman to the table, because you do not have that organ that makes you a man, you will still get paid less. That's what I think that's another aspect of feminism, sexism as well. Favoritism towards the males. No matter what you do, there are people in this world that will still look down on you and not give you the same recognition you deserve, just because you're a woman, just because they believe that you cannot lead. And there are people like that. There are many men like that. There are a lot of them in many companies, that the woman is bringing more to the table. They are doing a lot, but because of this one is a man, they'll be like, no, this man has to be the face of this place, or this man has to, or it has to be a man that will be leading this thing. We can't have a woman. And the way they'll say is so like small disdain. I think that's a boy. I'm glad you're not sexist, right? You believe that once you bring your value, you get paid for it. But there are people that don't think like you do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I'm smart.
But people differ, whether we like it or not. You cannot be, another person cannot be you, and you cannot be another person. So that's
experience can be your experience. Yeah.
So, but I think the most important thing right now is that feminism is just about looking forward for equality and not superiority. They're not fighting to.
Let me chip in something again. Now, it's also, most of the times there are things I don't believe in, and there are things that I believe in. I don't believe in equal rights. Right? Men and women should not have equal rights. But what I believe in is an equity of rights. Now, what is the difference? The difference is that when we are in a war zone, when we are in a war situation, the women and the children are supposed to be saved, right? It's in fact their own right to life. You know, everybody has right to life. Now, if you want to talk about equality of rights, that means everybody must stay and bear the consequences of the war, for example, right? Everybody must stay because this is our country that have been invaded. So we have to stay. Everybody has the right to life, but you know, this is indispensable. This is, in fact, there's nothing we can do. So everybody will stay and fight for the country. But I believe that there are some parts of the rights that should be higher, and there are some also parts of the rights that should also be lower. Everybody should not enjoy the quality of rights. Like, let me continue my analogy. In a war zone, in a war situation, the men are supposed to stay and fight, while the women and children are supposed to be evacuated or taken out. That is not equality of rights. That is equity. That is fairness. That is giving to people what is befitting of them. You get? Women are not physically strong. Can you hear me?
Network.
Network. I can hear you.
Okay. Like I was saying, women are weak. They are not physically strong. Okay, let's not say they are weak, but they are men are actually stronger than the men. You would agree with me that, like, okay, let's say most men, but I know some women that are actually very good in kickboxing and all that. But generally, men are perceived to be stronger than the men. That is why most of the times, and most of them are in the army. Most of, like, you see 80% of men in the army than the women. Now, in a war zone, the men are supposed to stay and fight while the women and children are supposed to go out. Now, if you as a feminist, you are talking about equality of rights, that means you are supposed to, in fact, you are supposed to be telling everybody, like people that are coming to take the women and children away, you're supposed to tell them, no, you don't want to go, you want to stay and fight for the country just like the men do. You get? But you see, in the situation like this, women will forget that they are feminists. They will just want to follow.
I want to fight. I cannot fight.
Yes, you see.
Fight,
now they would want to follow. They would want to follow that particular aeroplane that came to evacuate the women and the children. You get? So when something like this happens, you would know that equality of rights is nonsense. Based on their value. That's why I gave you an example of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is a woman, but she earns more than most men. Why? Because she has more value than most men. You get? Somebody like okay, the current Prime Minister of England, I think she's a woman. She would be earning more than all the men there in the parliament. Why? Because she has value. She has something she brought to the table. So everybody should be given their own rights according to what they bring to the table. That's according to their responsibility, according to their obligations, just like Hopefield analysis of rights talked about. So if you leave me, I'll just be explaining jurisprudence and be going. So you better just take over. Great.
There's kind of a flaw in what you said. Let me just talk about reproduction now. Reproduction, you don't really need many men in order to reproduce. You can just have one man and like 5 women, and you made like plenty children. Like you get so many children out of just that one man.
Yes.
Now, if you leave just 5 men and 1 woman, how do you want to get the children? I think that's why they do that women and children first. To continue, so in case of the war and everything goes to shit, there will still be some people, women left, and at least one man that can continue the line, like the human race. Because normally we can agree that without women, the human race will die out. I forgot about IVF and other things. So without women, so that's why I think that's why they mostly say women and children. Apart from the part that, like the fights and everything, most that women and children first should be because they need to continue the human race. If the war kills off everybody and there are like few men left, actually those few men, if they're multitude of women, those few men can bring about the reproduction of more, of the human species. So I think that's why they mostly do that women and children first.
Well, that is your own opinion because, and it's a very valid opinion. Yes, because the women are needed for reproduction to happen. Because after all, in the Bible, Cain and Abel didn't come until Eve came. So, but then that is a very valid opinion that you made. But the reason as to why they evacuate the men, the women, and the children is because they are weak. They are weak to fight. That's the main reason. Because ordinarily, if they are strong, why would you take them out? Okay, they will be strong to fight and actually be alive to procreate, to go on and to reproduce. But because they see them as weak.
Why do the men die in the war if they're also strong? Why are they dying? So if we go and fight too, we will die. The men go to fight too, they also die. So everybody will just die.
That's not the quality of rights you are talking about.
Then how will the race continue? That is why they are bringing them out. How will you continue? If everybody dies, how will the human race continue? The women fight, they die. The men fight, they die. Everybody dies then. All the war will just end up with just ashes and bones and blood. So that's why they are bringing them out. Not for to save my life. They're saving me because they want to reproduce. That's why.
Okay, so yes, very true. If the women come to fight, if the men come to fight, they might die. No, that is what feminists should think about before talking about equality of rights. You get? Because there is no how. Now, when most of the times when they say, okay, women, they are not supposed to work, just the men in the kitchen and the other room. You get? most times they take it to heart. They are angry about it. But see, if I am a woman, right? Apart from the fact that value, yes, is okay for women to improve and to have value and be valuable in the society and all that. You don't know that it's actually more stress-free that you stay at home and do whatever it is that you're supposed to do at home than going to work, paying taxes, paying bills, doing things that are supposed to that were made for the men. Because when God, I think in the Bible, when God was cursing the human race, like because they ate the fruit, it was the man that they told that he will till the soil to get what to eat. Now, because of feminism, women have joined in the cause that they cause man. Like they want to share. Well, I don't see anything wrong with that because I see that women love the men too much to share in our burden. They cost us that we would till the soil, and the women wants to come and follow us to till the soil. To do so. The only cause that was given to the women was, I think, the reproduction aspect, where you have to suffer to give birth. That one did not do you people. You still want to come and till the soil. Well, because he stated it.
As for me, that stress, the stress should be for me. I want to do my cooking and do everything, but for myself. Now you go and bring urban and children to put on my head because it's going to work. I beg, I don't know. My stress free is let me do it myself. Let me go to work for myself. Let me cook for myself. That one is stress free. Do you know how stressful it is to cook for plenty people?
Improve themselves so much that they are indispensable to the society, and that is when, even if you look at these women that have improved themselves, just like I've been saying over and over again, they don't even worry about things. They don't worry about the equal rights. They don't worry about equal pay because they're actually earning more than the men. Do you know how much?
Because they have put themselves there. They have worked so hard. How many men are working that extra hard just to be recognized? They are making so much effort to be recognized. But some average somebody not even make any single effort and boom, they're recognized. So why is that we have to put so much effort, so much hard work, when sometimes the average man may not even put in that amount of work we are putting in and they still get recognized?
What are you talking about? What are you? Wait, no, you don't know that? The women, you should be talking statistically. Women are actually more privileged and have more opportunities to be recognized. Do you know anything about the beauty privilege? Pretty something. That's how they put it. Now let's say a man comes to, right, like these are men, big men are coming for this event. I just want to meet people so that I will turn them into clients and all that. If I am coming to that party without an invite, or let's say if I'm just coming there, maybe as I am like this, I'm obviously not a very big man, and it's possible that the bouncers might not allow me to enter. But a woman would enter, like come and go inside without any stress, without any problem, as long as even
as long as it's fine.
Yes, as long as and
as long as that's privilege, as long as it's fine. They are getting something from me. That thing is not favor. You are getting I'm giving something. It's the same thing.
What are you giving?
Okay, let not go that way. Let's not go that way.
No, it becomes another thing.
Even for free, are giving me. If you give me because I'm fine. No, because not for free. I'm like, oh, the woman just give this thing to her. You're expecting something in return. Everything.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about it. It's another thing. It's another thing for the man to okay, this is what you want. Okay, this is what you give me before I give you what you want. I'm not saying generally. In clubs, you go to club to enter the club. As a man, you pay for the gate. You pay the gate fee to enter. As a woman, you don't even get to pay for anything because you're a woman.
Because they want it to be there. They want the women to be there.
That is the privilege I'm also talking about.
They want it to be there. Why do they want it to be there? That's the reason. The reason why they want it to be there. I've had many invites of many club parties for my friends, and when they always say it is free for women, it's because they want you to be there for something. If only guys are there and the guys don't want to come to that party, they don't want to pay that money. Once they hear, oh my God, this guys, that guys coming, they are coming. They make sure that is for free because you are coming there, and it's not favor. It's not a favor at all.
No, listen, I'm giving that as an example to tell you that even the women, because you're a woman, you have actually this thing they call pretty privilege. Not necessarily because they are collecting anything from you, because we are talking about men might not need to work their way up the ladder. I'm telling you that it is in the case of women, right? A woman in an organization or anywhere could actually be recognized and be taken up the ladder, not because of what of her work or anything, but maybe because she's a beautiful person that, you know, okay, most of the times you now talking about she giving something in return can suffice, but most of the times it does not, just because of the pretty privilege. So it's the men that actually try to work their way up, if you don't know, Sha. And most of the times, these men that work their way up would be, most of the times they'll be classified as lucky. Why they actually did the work to get there.
And the women that actually got it through pretty privilege will be classified as
lucky. In fact, they are lucky because if they don't have
Live in luck.
I didn't get you. What did you say?
I said you believe in luck.
Well, yes, obviously, luck. There is. You can never dispense with the phenomenon of luck. Like luck is there. Luck, like let's say for example, you work hard. You know, okay, well, let me not say luck. In the Christian term, we can call it grace, right? Grace, luck. It's just people that don't believe in grace that call it luck. So let's say I am working, but okay, the two of us we are doing the same thing, but ordinarily I just found favor in the sight of maybe our CEO, and I was promoted. Some people will call it luck, some people will call it grace. You get, but that is some people call it favor, right? So that is on the, I don't know, most of the times it's been associated with the spiritual aspect. Maybe there's a spiritual something that goes with that. But I'm just talking about people that actually work their way through are usually the men. Because especially if a guy CEO, a CEO that is a man, why will I recognize a man that, let's say for example, would not give me anything in return? Like, you're a man like me, so I'm not expecting anything. Nothing will happen. Even if you are fine, it does not join me. What I just want you to do is to walk that walk. So these are the ones that are being elevated without much work. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. No matter, maybe it's possible that they will give something in return, or the CEO is expecting in the future that something will be done in return. But then
where like you work so hard, but once you don't like give that expectancy of something else, you won't get that thing, no matter how hard you work. So that privilege is not really a privilege if you look at it from someone that doesn't want to put that thing there.
Yes, and that is why even the law is protecting women. I even see it that the law protects the women more than it protects the men. Right?
Oh yeah, the law
protects the women more than it protects the men. Now, as a woman, you have the right to sue if somebody is actually asking you for sex, for grades, or sex for promotion in the workplace. It is, if it's a criminal offense, which means you need a fiat from the Attorney General to charge or something like that, or you can actually arrest and all that, because it's also kind of seen as rape, because they are inducing you without your consent and all that. Now, if maybe possibly the man is asking for something, you have your right to sue. But you know that we are in Nigeria. If you sue the man, after the man finishes doing this thing, you will lose your job, obviously.
Exactly. He's not helping.
But then, it will now be obvious that you as a woman, you know your rights, right? You cannot succumb to shit. And what would even make you to be looking at the site of not working well so that you can be recognized? Like, why would you want to not work well but you want to be recognized? It's
Well,
not
my own
fair.
plan is to work hard enough to recognize, like, carve my own now, and
Thank
also
you.
pray for grace
So
and help.
that is your own
That's
plan,
my
and it's a very beautiful. That is a very beautiful plan. That's a very beautiful, interesting stuff. So trying to juxtapose the fact that men don't work, that is an insult to the
well, not trying to
working
but
class of men.
but you.
That they don't, that most of the times they don't work, but they get the recognition because they are men. I'm trying to tell you that it's not always the point. That is not even it, because it's the other way around. The women are seen as people that would actually bring pleasure to the men. So they are the ones that actually go higher without any much work given, as far as they can just, do the necessary things that are
Yeah.
supposed to be done. You get? So that is just it. It's just the other way around. That's what I'm just trying to clarify you on.
Okay, I've seen your points.
We have to find a common ground.
Come
We
on,
have to find, because the essence of every argument is
argument is
to,
to find a common ground. Yeah,
uh,
we
where
agreed in the
we
part. Okay, agreed in the parts where you said that the it's not the case where men work the work, because we agree on that part now. Like, I agree with you there. Then what's up about the agree on again?
you agree with me when you agreed with me when I stated that women should not be worrying about work pay if they are not valuable in the society.
Yeah,
Like,
and how
they're
we
supposed
agree on that
to
part too.
work hard to actually get your pay.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know whether you agree with me that feminism and the advocacy for feminism is how I want to. I'm looking for a very mild way to say it.
I still think
Um,
it's important, even though in a minute form, there are still some people that need that. Not that they're louding it. You know where they should be louding the thing, not where they should be making too much noise about it. I agree on that
yes,
part too.
you
When
people,
they're making that much noise,
femini-
it's not
they
where
are
they should be making
supposed
that
to
much noise. But
come
when it
together.
applies, you're allowed to like make your noise about it. If it's like if you see a situation where it's up where it applies, you can make your noise about it. I think I don't know if you
Okay,
agree.
what I'm also saying is that if there is any way that feminists, very, very, very strong feminists, can come together and board an aeroplane to the Afghanistan, the Taliban, to tell them to protest there, and tell them that they are going against the women right. Then if they come back alive, glory be to
They
God.
will not come back
But if they
alive, man.
don't, if they,
They will not come back
if
alive.
they that is
They
it.
won't come back alive.
These are the places you are supposed to, that feminists
They
are
will not
supposed to
come back
go and be
alive,
making the
oh.
noise.
They
Not
won't
in
come back
Nigeria,
alive.
not in the United States of America, where the whole rights are
But
very
at least, well,
plain.
in Iran, I think the case where they killed a woman because of like the restriction they put on her, I think they are protesting. Women are trying protesting in the streets, or men are meant to, but mostly women are protesting in the streets. So they are still doing the work there. But if we fly to that place now, they will still together. Us bound to get the kind of power that if we go there, nothing will still happen to us. I can get our end goal. But I don't want to die. I cannot travel to that place. So I'm ready to die.
Okay, feminism is important in some parts, but
Yes.
the whole shouting that they are
No,
not being given so much rights in
don't
Nigeria
talk me
and all
about
that.
irritating when I see on Twitter Femi. I try to tell Femi, I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? That one is to annoy me a lot. Because I know what me I want as of under. The people under the same umbrella are disgracing me. So it's not making people think that me, I follow them to do what they are doing. So that well
Yeah,
in
you see,
every umbrella, the people that are inside like may not always share the exact same ideals. So
thank God it's not only me they are disgracing. They're also disgracing their members. But it's okay. You know,
So
it's okay.
I
So,
think the thing is that the point of feminism having been they've already established the fact that women need level of power or some level of social and economical and political um, participation in society. So I think it has in some states like America and next like Nigeria, and it's already got to a certain. So the thing they're doing now is just excess. It's just, that's the thing right now. Like making it look like feminism is about fight and there must be an
And hating
alpha
men and stuff, yeah.
and stuff. Exactly. So I think I just think it's easy to be a feminist
It is good. It should
the
not be
right
like that.
in the right way.
The right feminist, not the bitter
Yeah.
ones. Not
If
the
you're talking
bitter
about
feminists. Don't be a bitter feminist.
if you're talking about the right way of feminism, I think everybody that believes in equity, everybody that believes um, um, in protection of human rights, everybody that believes that people are supposed to are not supposed to be trampled, the people's rights are not supposed to be trampled upon, then
Yeah.
it means that people that believe in these things are actually feminists. Now, when you talk
Yes.
about the main purpose of the move of feminism, which, like I said, started in the United. I don't know whether it started there, but much of it was in the United States when the voting rights of women were
Yeah.
limited and all that. So if you are talking about the equity of rights, if you are talking about the fact that rights are not supposed to be trampled upon, especially the women rights, because they are weak, obviously, but they would not agree that they are weak.
Why are you always
Have
saying that we are weak though?
physical strength not
No,
everything,
because
though. Physical strength is
no,
not everything. There's mental strength, there's emotional strength. Physical strength is not everything. Stop calling us weak. Yes, we're
wait,
weak physically, but mentally and emotionally, we are not weak. Abba.
why is it that women complain every time of um trampling upon their rights if they are very strong to withstand, or
No,
like,
it's
let's
not
say for
weakness.
example,
You are
rape.
weak, you are weak, you are weak. As if it's just, yes, we are not physically strong. We don't have the testosterone to power us like the men do. But
So
in
what
life, there are
it,
some best I can
it's
be
the
won
same
by
thing now.
physical strength. So
No,
mental strength is
you
also
you know
there.
you know that I'm talking about the physical strength. I'm not talking about the mental strength. I believe
What I'm
almost
saying now, I
there
need
are
to go strong as you. I'm not engaged in a fist fight with you. But life is not about
yes.
physical strength. You can't get all you want through physical strength. Even nowadays, how many people are like going about in bros to get what they want or doing duels to the death? Nobody again now. So now we don't
Okay,
really rely on
okay.
physical on our words mostly. So
No,
if you want to say
no
that women are
problem.
mentally weak,
Let me be particular. Let me be particular. Let me be precise. Uh,
physically,
because yes, women are physically weak. Okay, let's not say that women are physically
eh,
weak. Uh, Men are actually, most men are stronger than
are
most
stronger
women physically.
physically. Thank you. Thank you.
So they complain about trampling of rights. So if people are actually against these rights that are like this trampling upon the weaker vessels' rights, the rights of the vulnerable, which it's very easy to trample upon. If people are actually advocating for, okay, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, that means everybody's a feminist. But when you now start talking shit about the whole thing that had already been provided for you on a platter of gold as a woman, saying that, okay, you need more, that you need a superior this thing, that means you don't need to be alive. They need to carry you to Taliban. You need to go to Afghanistan and go and tell them that thing there.
So
Yeah,
what
I
are we
agree with that.
agreeing on?
So all these
Well,
Where's
things we
our
have been
stand?
saying that
we have agreed on some things. We have agreed on some.
So, so
No,
what
that
is
that
what
one is about the MBA profit something. I agree with that because if you're not, you can't expect me to bring out the money that I'm paying the men that is bringing in much profit. I'll not give that same money to you when your league is not making that same profit. It will be a crime if your league is making the same profit as the men's own, and I'm
yes.
not giving you that particular money. That's when it's a crime. But when I'm giving you the money that your league is bringing to me, is bringing like to the table, and I give it to you, it's fine. But then you're not asking me to give you the same amount I'm giving to the other people that their league is getting plenty money. It doesn't make sense. So I agree with that part.
Okay. Me, I actually like our own part of feminism, our own style of feminism. You will not go to Taliban with the other feminists, yeah? You'll be here.
Hey, okay, you Shimala, you totally agree or you agree that to an extent feminism actually useful and not useless.
To an extent, we
Useful,
agree to an
useful,
extent.
useful in countries that need them. Just like I always say, Afghanistan and Iran and all that. You go there and you advocate for the women's rights. You advocate for their right to go to school because obviously they are not going to school there. You advocate for their
Even if
right to
some
work.
people in Nigeria, some men don't go to school. In Nigeria, some places, some like, and it's okay. Many Africa, there are some villages where they still practice those like the girl child doesn't have to go to school. Send her to her husband's
Are
house.
you
There are
are
still
you are you
villages.
are you
Yeah,
sure it's not because of poverty?
it's not really poverty. The boys are going to school, so why not sending the girls as well?
Because when you look at the
There's a
IDP
particular
camps,
village in like I think it's Kenya that there's a woman trying to like save the girl children from being sold off into marriage while their male counterparts are going to school. So she takes them out from their families and puts them in school so that their families not send them into marriage instead of like because they don't believe that they have any value, they just be taking the boys to school and leaving them there. I think the particular place that so I think that's where her own feminism took her to, which is kind of admirable also.
yes, you see, you carry your feminism and go where it's needed, not coming to disturb us where everything is very okay. That is exactly what I'm trying to say.
Basically,
Feminism
that's
is
just
important where it is important.
your problem. That it's already
That they're
becoming
shouting about it, they're
that they should
shouting
go
when
to
it's not
another
needed.
place that is not needed
I think
here.
he's saying they are no. I think he's saying that they are shouting for like in situations where they're not supposed to be shouting for. I think that's what it means that they are shouting and making a lot of noise where like you can. There's no need to make that kind of noise there.
You see, there's no need. Absolutely. So
Ew. So we've gotten to a particular point, but we've not gone to let's go.
Okay.
So normally similar, the way you saw feminists at the beginning of this conversation, is it the same way you see feminists now?
yes, I've always seen feminists as, like I always say, I've always seen them as people that make too much noise, right? They make too much noise where it is not important to make that kind of noise. You get? That's why most of the time if I see them, especially in the United States of America, United States where it's too free, very free. You can do anything you want to do as a woman. You can do anything you want to. Even most women even earn more than men in the United States. They do things that they're supposed to do. That they earn their money in hourly. They will come out and talk feminism, equal rights. That's very stupid. You go to where need this feminism. You go to where it is important, not everywhere. So that is it. Okay, even though I was not looking at it in the extent of okay, there are some places that these feminists are needed, but then
Mm.
I think that is a new information I got from, like, a new opinion I formed from this conversation. I'm no longer seeing Oluchi again.
It's now very dark.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's
I
why
know. Of course, I don't know if I
so
can get touch now.
But let's just conclude
okay.
once.
Okay. So we've gotten that you've gotten one thing which feminists are also needed in certain countries
Places.
that
Yes.
need them. Okay. And these people should stop making noise.
Yes. They should just stop. They should just go inside. If they want to make noise, they should go to Afghanistan.
Okay. Oluchi, is there any other thing you want to conclude for us?
No, I've said everything I need to say.
Yes,
Okay.
our Oluchi's feminism is very nice. She doesn't talk too much.
Ah, good. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for being a part of this conversation that was not so controversial. Yeah. But
Surprisingly.
There are disagreements, but
surprisingly, surprisingly. So I'll say thank you, and I'll be posting this video on my YouTube channel once I can. So Thank you very much for being a part of this section with me. So once again, this is Time with
So subscribe to
Gracee.d.
our YouTube channel, Gracee.d.